He's one of those musicians that is, I am a musician. That's what I am. And he's from the church. You know, his mama is a pastor, and he plays at church. You know, and he's just a musician. This is what I do. If I put out an album, cool. You know, but this is just what he does. You know, and he's not a big fan of rushing anything, as you know. So.
2025 needs to just end already because the way celebrities are dropping is straight up spooky. Like, how many more names are we gonna lose before the year's over? Everyone and their mama catching this mysterious Hollywood curse. And now D'Angelo too? His family claims he'd been privately fighting cancer, but Erykah Badu's calling cap. She says this wasn't no illness. This was a full-blown spiritual hit. And if you know anything about Erykah, you know she's not the type to toss that word around lightly. When her spiritual radar goes off, something dark is definitely lurking in the shadows. But here's the wild part. Erykah isn't just guessing. Word on the street is D'Angelo actually reached out to her before his death, telling her about the spiritual attacks he was feeling. He even asked her for protection right after Angie Stone passed away under mysterious circumstances. So now everyone's wondering, did D'Angelo sense his time was near? Was he next on the same hit list that took Angie out? Because the timing of all this is just way too unsettling to ignore. His family had been real hush-hush about the cancer claims, but when he finally passed, they dropped a heartbreaking statement. It read, "The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life." They shared that he fought bravely but was called home on October 14th, 2025. They thanked fans for their love, asked for privacy, and reminded everyone of the timeless legacy he left behind. Music that touched millions. It was touching, but fans weren't buying the official story for a second. Because the second that post went live, social media exploded with accusations. People said the cancer narrative felt way too neat, especially since D'Angelo's death came just 4 months after his ex, Angie Stone. And if you've been keeping up, Angie's death didn't sit right with anyone. She died in that bizarre late-night car accident, right after she publicly accused Record XX of stealing her money and dabbling in voodoo to silence her. The timing? Beyond suspicious. Angie wasn't biting her tongue either. She went online furious, saying she was ready to drag every single one of them to court. And from what she shared, she had receipts, real evidence of who was behind her missing millions in
how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be. I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that.
career sabotage. But before she could follow through, boom, she's gone. Just days later. So now, everyone's asking the same chilling question. Did Angie and D'Angelo both fall victim to the same dark industry circle? Because at this point, it's starting to look a lot less like coincidence and a lot more like a pattern. What makes this whole situation bone-chilling is that Angie saw it coming. She literally said she was under spiritual attack, not figuratively, not metaphorically. She said it felt like her soul and her family were being targeted. And she didn't keep it vague either. Toward the end of her rant, she warned fans to watch a certain group if anything ever happened to her. Like, what regular person says that unless they already know they're in danger? Angie wasn't being paranoid. She was leaving a breadcrumb trail. And then, just days later, it all unfolded exactly how she feared. She wrapped the show, hopped in her car around 4 a.m., and suddenly, the vehicle flipped multiple times out of nowhere. But here's the thing. That first crash didn't kill her. She was alive, fighting to get out, when a random truck appeared like it was waiting for the cue and slammed straight into her again. That's not random. That's a cleanup, straight out of a Hollywood thriller.
And if I never get it, at least you heard it from me, because I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me. Attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated, and God healed me, cleared up.
You can't convince me this was just bad luck. Angie was thriving, performing, smiling 1 minute, then calling out people she said were stealing from her. And the next thing you know, she's gone. The timing alone screams setup. Every time someone tries to break free or expose something real in that industry, they end up silenced. Angie wasn't imagining danger, she was naming it. And sadly, her death feels less like an accident and more like a warning to anyone else thinking of doing the same. But that's not even the part that's haunting people the most. Out of the 8 passengers in that car, Angie was the only one who didn't make it. Think about that. 8 people, 1 fatality, and it just so happens to be the woman who publicly said she was being hunted. The odds don't add up, and fans have been side-eyeing that coincidence since day one. Because let's be honest, Angie basically predicted her own death. And when someone does that, it's never random. Now here's where it gets even darker. Word is, right before she passed, Angie went to D'Angelo and told him exactly who she believed was behind it all. Despite their complicated history, they'd made peace for their son's sake, so her trusting him with that kind of secret tracks. Whatever she told him must have been heavy, because not long after her death, D'Angelo allegedly went straight to Erykah Badu seeking spiritual protection. But clearly, that protection didn't hold up. Sources say Erykah was shattered when D'Angelo died. She's reportedly been blaming herself, not just because of the energy work she did, but because their connection ran deep. Remember their collab Your Precious Love? Fans swore there was real chemistry there, and neither of them ever denied it. Now, with both Angie and D'Angelo gone, people can't help but wonder if Erykah's next. It's giving the energies off in the worst possible way. And then there's their son, Michael Archer Jr. His statement broke the internet. It has been a very rough and sad year for me, but my parents taught me to be strong. Imagine that, losing your mom right after she said her life was in danger, then your dad just months later after begging for spiritual protection. It's beyond tragic. One fan wrote, "That's too much pain for one heart," while another said, "Protect that boy at all costs." But now the question is, did D'Angelo really know he was next? And if so, is this all part of a bigger Hollywood cleanup? Drop your theories below, and click here for the next deep dive, because this story, it's far from over.